Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's Driver head-to-head comparison video for you today, and we've got the new Mizuno ST-Z Driver, so brand new for 2021, up against TaylorMade's SIM2. So two really good looking drivers in their own individual way. We're going to test them, put them up against each other. We've got TrackMan on the floor, so provide you with some data and also my personal feedbacks between the look, the feel, and also the performance of these two drivers. Okay, so just before we jump into the video, if you've been watching and you haven't subscribed, very much appreciate you just hitting that little button in the corner of the screen, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so any future videos land on my channel, you'll be one of the very first ones to watch it. So appreciate your support as always, so I'd love you to be a subscriber. So many of you have probably seen my initial review video of the ST-Z Drive and also the ST-X version as well. Now, unfortunately, Mizuno sent me 10.5-degree heads for my reviews, which obviously isn't my particular loft, especially in the Z model as well. But I did the review just to give you some idea of obviously the looks, the feel, and we looked at some performance, but obviously it wasn't my dialed in particular loft. Now, I could have at the time reduced the loft of that driver to then obviously get it more into my loft, but as many of you have seen me in my videos, I'm sort of just hitting a little bit of a left to right sort of shape of shot at the moment, which is a little bit different for me. So obviously by opening the club face and de-lofting it, I didn't want them to turn into sort of too exaggerated on that shape. So that was the reason why I left it at 10.5. But I got in touch with Mizuno and they've kindly sent me my loft now, which is a 9.5. So ST-Z with a 9.5. I'm going to set it at 9.5. So format of this video, we're going to hit 5 shots with this, jump into the SIM2, 5 shots, back into Mizuno 5, and then obviously the final 5 again with the SIM2, and then we'll compare a few numbers. Okay, so I'm going to start off, as I say, with the Mizuno. So I've done a full review, so you can look at a bit more tech in terms of details. Obviously, it's a great looking driver. Sat down there, beautiful black gloss, a lot of that carbon showing there, which looks very classy. Let's get this first one underway. Okay, that wasn't too bad a strike. A little bit of a left to right, but not bad at all. Good club head speed, good ball speed, 164, nice launch, 293 carry. So if I get my launch in around that sort of 11, 12 mark, as maybe seen, get that spin sort of around 2.5, under that 3,000, get some good carry numbers then. It's a good strike, just a little bit up that left, just reacting to probably that first shot. Good flight on that. It's a really good sound as well. It's a very solid sound. It's not too muted, it's not too loud. I think it just sits in that middle area. Very solid, gives you some really good sort of feedback. It's a little bit of that carbon sort of sound in there, which I really like. Oh, felt like I've really hit that one. Well, that's a lovely straight one, but best probably of the 3 there. Really good strike on that. Maybe pick a little touch low, maybe see that launch just pop down low, but really good club head speed, got hold of that one. And really good sort of ball speed. Ooh, just a touch in that heel. See, that just starts to give that little bit of that left to right shape with that slight heel strike. But again, feels really solid. Love the sound. The look of it's fantastic down by that golf ball. As I say, that polished black face, polished top, a little bit of grey carbon black front section looks really, really good. Just a tiny bit peeling, but I don't really sort of mind that shape too much. And good carry there, 288. Okay, so there's 5 shots hit with the Mizuno. Looks great, feels great. We'll get some good sort of performance numbers there. Let's jump into the SIM2. Right, okay, so SIM2 in our hands now, and I did obviously review video. I've done a few head-to-head videos with this, and it seems to be really performing quite nicely. And I've really enjoyed hitting it as well. It's a really good feel for me. Seem to have seen maybe a little bit of club head speed with SIM2 as well. It'd be interesting to see that up against the Mizuno, of course. And obviously looks very different, aren't they? You know, they've got a very sort of classic blacked out sort of look. Obviously it's a fairly big head, as they all are nowadays, really. SIM2 is, again, it's a great shape, obviously just different. You've got that white front section, obviously the carbon top, a little bit darker grey than the previous model, but it does look good. Fan of them both, to be honest, in the way they look, even though they are quite different from each other. So 9-degree head, Mizuno's a 9.5, so there's just that slight half-degree difference. Okay, good strike. That floated a little bit higher there, actually. First impressions, good club head speed, ball speed again, nice and neutral. Yeah, spin was a little bit high there. You can probably just see that, maybe caught that a little bit slightly low in the face maybe, I don't know, it didn't feel too bad. Just that sound is just a little bit different there, probably just a tiny bit quieter than the Mizuno. I'm not saying the Mizuno is obviously too loud by any means, but just feels it all sounds a little bit more muted. Okay, that was a little bit heel. It's flown all right. Again, club head speed, ball speed's good. So that launch just comes out low and hit that low heel. Just kills me a little bit of distance there. You know, again, that strike, isn't it? You know, I'm not going to hit the same part of that club face every single time. Always got to sort of just weigh strike into the equation. Yeah, and that's a better strike. It's a better flight. It's a more higher flight from that better strike. See, the launch just goes up a little bit more. See, yeah, that's really good. See, that's best numbers there. So I get that sort of 10.5, 11 area, mid sort of 2000 spin, obviously combined with a good strike that allows me to get that control of spin and launch, but also maxes my ball speed. Oh, that felt really good. That felt really good. That looks to be going out there. Getting 115, so maybe just seeing a little bit of that increase of club head speed. Again, I did see that other reviews, other videos that I've done, just seems to be moving that club that little bit quicker. Okay, one more with the TaylorMade before we jump back into the Mizuno. That's lovely. That's really nice. Again, very good sound, very good feel with that club, and really good numbers there. So, 5 shots hit, back into the Mizuno. Okay, so just before I hit the next 5 shots with the Mizuno, maybe just worth noting sort of price points of these two clubs. So the Mizuno, looking online at competitive prices, is coming at the moment at £349, and the TaylorMade is coming in at £399. So there's a £50 difference of price point there, which obviously is really down to you guys whether you can feel warrant spending that extra sort of money. But I'll obviously let you guys decide that. So back in the Mizuno, 5 shots. Won't show you all the flights on this batch of 5. Oh, that's a really good one to finish up on there, really straight. Could be even a line ball there. Good bit of speed again, nice launch, good spin, 280 on that carry. Okay, so there's 10 shots hit now with the Mizuno, final 5 with the SIM2. Okay, so final 5 shots now with the SIM2 before we go and check a few numbers out. Okay, and that's a really nice strike to finish up on there. So again, feels great, looks good, performance looks pretty good as well. But let's go and check a few numbers out, a little bit more detail. 10 shots hit each with the Mizuno and also the TaylorMade. Okay, so obviously looking at dispersion rings, which is obviously really important with driving, you know, hit as many fairways as we can, be accurate as I can. Obviously that is a very big box ticked as well, isn't it? So obviously we've got the Mizuno there in the white ring and the TaylorMade in the yellow. So a little bit tighter with the TaylorMade in terms of that left to right dispersion. Obviously we've got a couple of, again, my strikes play a big part here. Obviously a little bit of a miss, slightly more of a miss hit there, pulls up a touch short. Obviously some really good hits with that launch spin speed as well. But very consistent from that left to right shape there, which is really good. I'm not saying the Mizuno was wildly offline. Obviously, I just tend to see a little bit more of that slight sort of left to right sort of shape on those shots. So just having a little look at the lies, obviously the lie of the golf club obviously can affect shot shape as well, and both are lying pretty much identical. So the TaylorMade coming in that standard neck sleeve and the standard loft there is coming in at 56-degree lie, and the Mizuno in the standard setting there is 56.5. So there's only a half a degree difference of the lie, so it's not like lie has influenced that ball flight. And then maybe just have a quick look at the side on bird's eye view of the 2 flights. So the white flights here are the Mizuno, so you can see a little bit of a difference from that sort of low flight to the high flight. Again, obviously my strike is going to change that. I've not changed the setting during that test with 9.5 head, set at 9.5. Obviously this shaft isn't changing. It's obviously my performance there. So just seem to be a little bit more consistent on my strike pattern with the TaylorMade. So the flight window a little bit more consistent, and obviously just getting that little bit more yards. And then looking at the all-important numbers there. So again, club head speed 113 with the Mizuno against just short of 115, so nearly 2 mile an hour quicker with the Sim. And obviously I flipped 5 shots, mixed them all up, so I haven't got comfortable with one, and I do feel like I can move that Sim a little bit quicker. I've seen it in the past in the other videos, so again, it's proved there it is moving a little bit quicker, and then that can relate into a little bit more ball speed. But I think having said that, you've got 2 mile an hour difference of that club head speed and about 2 mile an hour difference of that ball speed. So the ball speed isn't so much that the TaylorMade is hotter off the club face than the Mizuno, it's just purely because I've obviously moved that club head speed a little bit quicker than the Mizuno, so obviously the ball speed is going to go up a little bit more, isn't it? We've then got sort of launch angle at 9, just short of 10, and 10.4, so pretty identical nose. Spin, see 2.5 with the Mizuno, which is good, 2.8 with the TaylorMade. Just had a couple of little bit higher spins there, again, get that little low strike. So distance-wise there, just that little bit of obviously club head speed, tiny bit more spin there. It's just stayed in that air a little bit longer, so you can see the carry at 2.89, just a little bit more than the Mizuno. But I think really, you know, obviously that strike pattern will just sort of change that fractionally as well. Right, okay guys, so there we go. There's 2 really good drivers for 2021. Good to get my hands on that 9.5 head in the Mizuno to really sort of test it more in my loft. And obviously I've seen a little bit more ball speed than what I saw in my initial review, because obviously Mizuno sent me that 10.5 head, which wasn't ideal for me. But good test there. 2 really good performing golf clubs. Yes, TaylorMade a little bit longer, through a little bit more of that club head speed more than anything. But a little bit tighter in that dispersion, which again, you've got to look at that dispersion ring as well, and how you personally, and this is how I'm personally reacting to these clubs. Everybody has a different sort of feel, preference of look, how the club maybe sits, and obviously how they adjust then to that particular club as a testing. So for me, you've always got to go and try them yourselves. Don't go buying purely from my results. Please do go and test them yourselves, put them into different shafts, lofts, look at maybe launch monitor data, compare them, hit multiple shots, and that's probably the best way to sort of do it. And obviously get a good fitter who's going to look after you as well. Okay, post comments down below, let me know your thoughts between those 2 drivers. Is that something you go out and try for 2021? A little bit of a slight difference of price point there, £50. Interested to hear your thoughts as always, so do comment in the section down below. If you've enjoyed the content and you haven't subscribed, you know what to do. Please just hit that subscribe button. Very much appreciate the support as always, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.